Hello everybody. The School of Law of Manav Rachna University has started a very interesting project which is called Legends of Law, Understanding the Lives Behind the Legacy. In this series, we propose to give a brief background of eminent lawyers and judges whose lives continue to inspire and guide us long after they have gone. All these legends of law have left an indelible imprint on the march of law over the last century. The first of these talks is on the life of late M.C. Chagla, the first Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court after India attained independence. While I went through his autobiography, famous autobiography Roses in December, what struck me the most was the remarkably varied career that this great man had. Many of us have seen people who are lawyers, who become judges, some become chief justices. But this remarkable person, in the span of his life, he was a barrister, he was a puisne judge, a chief justice, an acting governor, a member of a UN delegation, member of the Law Commission, External Affairs Minister, and Education Minister. Also headed a landmark Mundra Commission of Inquiry. And if all this was not enough, he then began a remarkably successful career as a senior counsel in the Supreme Court for the last 16-17 years of his life. But now let us begin at the beginning. M.C. Chagla was born into an affluent Muslim family in 1900. His family was well-to-do and he was admitted to Oxford University, where he had a distinguished stint as a student and took active part in the Oxford debates and had the opportunity of meeting various eminent personalities of the then Indian freedom movement. After completing his education and becoming a barrister, Chagla returned to India in 1922. He records that when he went to England, his family was wealthy, but circumstances took a turn for the worse and the family's wealth entirely collapsed. So when he came back to Bombay, he had to struggle as a lawyer. He joined the chambers of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the father of Pakistan. And as he claims in his book, he was very, very close to him, took part in various political meetings. But when Jinnah started espousing the two-nation theory, Chagla left him and set up on his own. Till then, they were very close. There is one interesting story which late Fali Nariman told me about Chagla. Chagla's father had a case and they required a lawyer. So he asked his own senior, Jinnah, that could you appear for my father in a case? Jinnah said that yes, he would appear, but on a matter of principle, he never appeared without a fee. Chagla was shocked that his senior would demand a fee from his own junior's father. Obviously, his father was in dire circumstances and could not afford the fee. So, Chagla went to the great Sir Jamshedji Kanga and told him about his father's case and said that, could you appear for my father? Kanga said, of course I'll appear. And when he mentioned about the fees, he said, no, there's no question of charging a fee for your father. This act of Kanga left a great imprint on Chagla's mind. He never forgot that he owed a debt of gratitude to Kanga. And later in life, when Kanga had some difficulty in having his chamber removed, Chagla came to his rescue. Apart from this episode, Chagla practiced for 19 years and in 1941 was elevated to the High Court of Bombay. It is significant and interesting that he had a career in politics as well. He had addressed several meetings along with Jinnah and on his own. And initially the British government opposed his elevation on the ground that he had political leanings and had taken part in the freedom movement. To the credit of Sir John Dumont, who was the Chief Justice of Bombay, He persuaded the government and said that irrespective of his political leanings and political career, he was an outstanding lawyer and would be a great asset to the bench. To the credit of Chief Justice Beaumont, the government relented and appointed him as a judge. Look at the turn of events. In 6 years, India got independence and Chagla became the first Indian Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court. The then Chief Justice, Sir Leonard Stone, was of the view that once India gets independence, it is not fair that a British judge continues to head the judiciary. Of course, there were other British judges who continued, but Sir Leonard Stone left and Chagla became the Chief Justice. He occupied the post of Chief Justice for 11 years and continued till 1958. Now, in his book, he records the lives of great lawyers, the lives of eminent judges of the Bombay High Court, and I would certainly recommend that every young lawyer must read this book as much as he should read the Constitution of India, the CPC and the CRPC. This book is a must for every lawyer. Now, the remarkable part of his career is that apart from being a judge and the Chief Justice, he also was appointed Vice Chancellor of Bombay University. And he records that he would sit as a judge till 5 o'clock, then go to the university for the meetings, and then function as a Vice Chancellor. A remarkable career. In 1958, when he still had some time to continue as Chief Justice, he was asked to be the ambassador to the United States. This is most unusual, but he accepted the appointment and became ambassador to the US. Of course, he had to resign as Chief Justice, and in his book he remarks that his term as Chief Justice was the most beautiful part of his life, and he carried with it very, very fond memories. After becoming ambassador to the US, he then became High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, and by this time, Pandit Nehru asked him to join the cabinet. He was appointed as the Education Minister in 1966. Chagla remarked that his tenure as Chief Justice, the 11-year tenure, was the best period of his life. He called it the most fragrant rose. While he was Chief Justice, Pandit Nehru asked him to be ambassador to the United States, which is perhaps the most important diplomatic post. Chagla accepted and served as ambassador with distinction. After that, he was asked to become High Commissioner for the United Kingdom. There also he served as ambassador to the United Kingdom. And this was a difficult period when we had the China War and so on. So Chagla's term as an ambassador is marked with very important events, and the 2 chapters in the book on his diplomatic assignments are also very, very readable. Just before Pandit Nehru died, he requested Chagla to join the cabinet, and Chagla became Education Minister. His work as Education Minister is also remarkable because he repeatedly emphasized the importance of English. He noticed the diversity of India and said that while regional languages are important and so is Hindi, one should not forget the importance of English, particularly if one had to take part on the international scene. He was also noted for appointing the Kothari Commission, which made major recommendations for educational reform. Pandit Nehru passed away, and later, in November 1966, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi requested him to become External Affairs Minister, which is again a very important post. No doubt his diplomatic assignments stood him in great stead in discharging the duties as the External Affairs Minister. Again, the book has very remarkable and interesting anecdotes of his term both as Education Minister and as External Affairs Minister. What is remarkable is his sense of punctuality. He always came to the office at 10 sharp and stayed till late in the evening, disposing of files very expeditiously, keeping virtually nothing pending. It is interesting that his term as External Affairs Minister came to an end on a matter of principle. As Cabinet Minister, Chagla did not want to be part of an important decision on the language issue. The Union Cabinet took a decision that all education should be in the regional language. Within 5 years, up to the undergraduate level, the education will only be in the regional language. And in a 10-year period, they wanted to replace English completely with the regional languages. Chagla took the view that he could not be party to this cabinet decision. He felt that doing so would lead to a very, very steep decline in education standards, and it would also seriously impair national unity. So he resigned from the cabinet and decided to take up practice in 1967. In between, he also headed the Mundra scandal inquiry, the LIC inquiry. And what is remarkable is that the evidence for the inquiry was taken in 31 days. At the end of the inquiry, he dictated his report over 2 days non-stop. And the report was given to the government within a period of 5 weeks after the inquiry started. This was perhaps one of the fastest inquiries which were conducted. It is said that the result was not to the liking of Pandit Nehru because it had adverse remarks to say about the late T.T. Krishnamachari. Anyway, it is seen that from 1941 to 1967, in a span of 26 years, Justice Chagla donned so many hats. As I said, he was Chief Justice, Ambassador, and so on and so forth. But what is remarkable is that he records in great detail what happened in each of these stints. And it is amazing how this gentleman is able to take on a new assignment with aplomb and with great ease. Now comes to the final phase of his life. From 1967, he starts practicing in the Supreme Court. He used to stay at the Delhi Gymkhana Club and have his conferences there. And if you see the law reports, you find that he had a very successful practice. In fact, it is said that Mr. Palkhiwala and Mr. Chagla, along with certain eminent lawyers, had the largest practice at that point of time. He continued to practice, and what is important is that he witnessed two of the most unfortunate events in our history. The first was the supersession of judges on 24th April 1973. Chagla records that on the evening of 24th April, the day the historic judgment in case on Bharati was delivered, Chief Justice Sikri came to see him at the Delhi Gymkhana Club in the evening. Of course, Chagla was much senior to Justice Sikri. And Sikri broke the news to him that 3 senior-most judges had been superseded and Justice A.N. Ray had been appointed as the Chief Justice. This was a complete shock to everybody. At that time, C.K. Daftari was the president of the Bar Association, and he records that the bar was so outraged that they declared a boycott of the court, and this was very, very successful. Almost the entire bar was against the supersession of the judges. This happened in 73, and he records the unfortunate impact that it had on the judiciary as a whole, where the executive could supersede a judge if it did not like his judgment. Of course, this happened once again when Justice Khanna was superseded by Justice M.H. Beg. After this episode, Chagla had published his autobiography in 1973. It became a bestseller, and at least during my young days, almost every serious lawyer had a copy of this book. After the emergency, Chagla played a very important role. In fact, his son records that the most glorious chapter of Chagla's life was his holding protest meetings during the emergency. Of course, he was one person whom Indira Gandhi did not arrest, and he made speeches in different places, particularly one in Ahmedabad, where he criticized the declaration of emergency and the suspension of all human liberties. People expected that he would be arrested, but fortunately he was not. The emergency came, the emergency was lifted, the Janata Party came to power, and Chagla records the role of late Jayaprakash Narayan in the victory of the Janata Party at that point of time. Sadly, Chagla passed away in 1981 at the age of 81. His life was remarkably varied, and there are several interesting aspects of his life which one must note. One very important and unique feature of his life was, except once or twice in his entire 17-year judicial career, Chagla never reserved judgment. As soon as the case was over, he would start dictating judgment then and there, irrespective of the complexity of the case. This is truly remarkable and shows a tidy mind, a mind which has grasped the facts and the law, has put it into clear compartments. And those of us who have seen his judgments in the Bombay High Court cannot help but be struck by the felicity of expression, the phrase. And what is unique is this is dictated. This is not something which has been written by hand long after the event has taken place. So I don't think there's any other judge in the world who can claim that except two judgments he dictated everything just off the hearing was over. When Mr. Sorabji and I wrote the book Courtroom Genius, I had the occasion of meeting several lawyers who worked with Chagla, who had appeared before Chagla. And when I used to go to the Bombay High Court, one senior lawyer told me that he was, even today, he was and is today recognized as the greatest Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court. And this senior lawyer told me that one litigant came to him when he was a lawyer and said he wanted his case to be heard by Justice Chagla. And he asked him why, and he replied in Marathi, "Mala Chagla Nyay paije, I want Chagla justice." That was the image and reputation of the man to the general public. What a great man he was. We are not going to get one other Chagla in our lives anyway. The other remarkable feature of Chagla was that he was not just a lawyer and a judge. He had a proper work-life balance in that sense. He enjoyed smoking a cigar. He enjoyed a drink in the evening. And after work, he would play a round of bridge at the Willingdon Club. So his life was just not all work, but it was also a enjoyment of the other fine things of life. Is his book. He comes out as a man who's very well read, and it is amazing how much he could pack into one lifetime. On his birth centenary, this centenary volume was published. I had the privilege of knowing his son, late Hon'ble Chagla, whom we lost a few years ago, 2 years ago. And this is the autographed copy of the book signed by Mr. Hon'ble Chagla about his father. The title of the book is Roses in December, which means that normally in December it snows and there are no roses in bloom. But as he puts in the foreword, in the title page, God gave us memory so that we can have roses in December. So in the evening of one's life, one can recollect all the wonderful things that have happened to us. I must earnestly request all young lawyers, young law students, to make sure that they read this book, make it as much part of your learning as you would read the Constitution of India or the Civil Procedure Code or the Evidence Act for that matter. This book is remarkable. It shows what kind of a life a man led, what contribution he made to society, and what a source of inspiration he continues to be. I thank the Manav Rachna University for giving me this opportunity of saying a few words of the great MC Chagla. Thank you.